And it's sort of the great unspoken reality of Catholic marriage that if in fact the church could give its blessing to that, I think a lot of couples would, number one, do that in a heartbeat and find their marriages better as a result of it. And probably a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's really awesome being in an intimate marriage that's very passionate.
Welcome back, everyone. Craig and Jonah here today. How are you today, Jonah?
Pretty good. Still living out the Song of Songs in our house.
Oh,
hands dripping with myrrh, fruits that are sweet to the taste.
How's that?
Breasts like twin fawns. You know,
are Catholics allowed to enjoy that? That doesn't seem right.
I don't know, but we are. I mean, and we, you know, and that's where comments like for our last video, where you know, what is it? New England Anteater or whatever.
2.0.
Yeah, 2.0. He's talking about how we are leading the charge for cognitive dissonance. And, you know, there are some real dangers that occur, I think, when you have passionate sex frequently.
I can only imagine. Tell us more.
This is the biggest side effect that I have seen.
Okay.
I love my wife so deeply that I would do anything for her at any time, no matter when it is. And it doesn't matter how tired I am or what I really want to do. I will do anything for her. I mean, that's a terrible side effect. I'm sure for the women out there, they don't want any of that.
No, I would definitely keep that from happening. My goodness.
I don't know. Like, it's a real problem, though, as far as like, it's something that I can't control at all. Like, I have no control over that. I would do anything for her, and I love her so deeply.
Does she know that?
Yes, I tell her that. And I tell her it's a real problem as far as, like, you have this over me right now, and I can't do much about it.
Does she feel the same way? Does the power
you know, we don't discuss that as far as, like, okay. I am open to discussing feelings more than she is. But she's opening up to them. So, you know, but it's just amazing how... I don't know. I feel really lucky that we have been able to get to this point because there's so many people that they go through the common steps of marriage where you're in love, you get married, then you have kids, sex disappears and you start resenting each other and then you never recover. But I feel really lucky that we've been able to recover.
That's awesome. You're living out the Song of Songs and I'm living the NFP blues these days.
See, and that's where it's funny that Jonah's picking on you because you actually follow the rules.
Pretty close.
I mean, you know, nobody can do it perfectly. Maybe Jonah can. But I mean, I really want to know if he can.
Yeah.
Can you follow the rules, Jonah?
Well, I'd like to know that because, I don't know, I think my experience has been, and this is sort of a Twitter poll I have going on, is my experience, most people have their shortcuts in dealing with this stuff.
Like when the couples that you know who I was talking to the other day, and just their shortcut was interesting. And it's like, if all these Catholic couples have shortcuts, who's even doing this?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, now, again, disclaimer, like we're not
supporting any of this. I don't know. I just know that when we lived an abstinence-filled marriage, it was brutal, and we don't want to go back to that. And right or wrong, I don't know. Like, should we have just gotten divorced? Would that have been the better route? You know, Jonah. I mean, should we have just said, well, we don't want to sin in this manner, so we're just going to pack it up, live in separate houses?
Hey.
Or should we have a very loving family and be happy? And literally give ourselves to each other fully. Like, she is there when I need her, and I am there when she needs me for whatever she needs. I mean, is that what it should be?
Well, if your hand caused you to sin, cut it off. That's what they say.
So if your wife caused you to sin.
Yeah. So I just
don't see that there's any other way that marriage is supposed to be lived other than this. Like, it should be passionate and loving, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that I'm sure that if I asked Jonah if he loved his wife deeply, I'm sure he'd say yes. I mean, I would have thought that too beforehand, but this is something that I've never felt before.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that. Like,
yeah.
I had no idea I could love somebody like this. And it's not just, and honestly, it's not just about the physical intimacy, but we have long conversations at night, like just about deep things or like just thoughts. And that brings a whole different level of intimacy. And it's about uncomfortable subjects sometimes, but we're both okay with it for the most part.
Do you think the increased physical intimacy sort of greases the skids for those kinds of conversations then?
Probably both ways.
Yeah.
I think both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, for her, and she talked about this too, like she needs more of the emotional support and the conversations, and that leads her to the physical intimacy then.
Well, I would think, yeah.
So like I need it for the reverse of her, and it just feeds this loop.
Yeah. It's fulfilling your needs for physical intimacy, which is in turn allowing you to fill her needs for emotional intimacy and connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just keeps playing
loops.
on each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great. But
your desert period will be over soon. So I'm sorry to be bringing this kind of energy.
Well,
I'm sure it's not fun.
Yeah, I mean,
but congrats on following the rules, though. I mean, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I mean, we've had brief glimpses, not to the degree you're talking about, but where it was just, felt like the needs were more or less fulfilled. It was, kind of a short period of time, few months during postpartum when we didn't have to worry about NFP and stuff, and my wife was especially attentive to trying to, fill this part of my life a little bit, and it was great. Like it was, I mean, in many ways, the best few months of our marriage. But that was very short lived because of NFP. Now,
so NFP is the root of some of your problems.
Well, I really so.
I think John Farrell would agree. Then just give rid of NFP.
Yeah, well, there are. Speaking of, referencing this one couple you kind of alluding to before, but there are plenty of Catholics that either do or give thought, ourselves included, to just getting pregnant so you have to deal with this crap for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
many kids are born for that?
Make that make sense to me.
Yep.
Children are a wonderful gift. I love my kids, but it's pretty crazy that we Catholics feel compelled, or we just give in and have kids because the alternative is just so terrible. Is that really? I mean, let's just, we're going to talk about it because no one else will, but that's the reality for a lot of us, a lot of Catholics, because we are so paranoid about the quote unquote rules.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's basically Jonah's 2.0's approach. Just keep having kids. When that,
how many does he have again?
Less than 5, 6, something like that.
Oh, he's barely getting started then.
Yeah. That was exactly the solution. When last year I had someone on Twitter got bothered by some of my comments, unflattering comments about NFP and the church rules, got, hooked me up with a super trad priest, old priest, talked on the phone, and I just said, these are the struggles that I have primarily with NFP and the abstinence and kind of what it does for a marriage. He's like, well, it's obviously solution is just to go at it and have another baby. And I'm like, right. And that's pretty much the advice. I mean, for most Catholics, that's either if they feel like they have to quote unquote follow all the rules, for most people, that's what we end up doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or people don't quite technically follow all the rules, and people have their own various ways of doing that. And my experience has been in talking to people that those that do, some do it without any hesitation at all, but a lot of people do it with a certain level of uncertainty in the back of their mind, because we're Catholics. How else would we live? But fear that we're going to hell anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Maybe we're supposed to live in that fog of uncertainty, but I don't like that.
I wouldn't think so.
To me, I think that is not a great, I just don't think that's a good solution.
Yeah.
But for better or for worse, my wife and I have been reusing NFP now for, I don't know, it's been a long time. Over a year, almost a year. This go around.
Yeah.
And, we're in uncharted waters here. We've never made it this long without getting pregnant. When we were like trying not to. And, I'll tell you, it is, I'm every single month, every single cycle is a consistent pattern. There are brief periods of bliss, like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. And then there are 2 weeks out of the month, like I'm in right now, that I hate it. And I don't know how else to say it other than I really, and I'm trying to embrace the cross and all that, because it is like, and let me say this, like, it's not that our marriage, our marriage isn't falling apart because of it. It's definitely not. And in fact, it's good. Like, our marriage is good. Our communication is good. Like, everything is good, other than I feel kind of, I don't know, just kind of rotten and withdrawn the whole, during this time.
Yeah. Like, too, we don't use birth control or anything like that. I don't want people to think that we use that. But when we, in the past, when we have abstained for longer periods, it just, I don't know, it just puts you in a bad place, I think, mentally. Like, resentment builds, or like, it's not, it's not resentment towards your wife necessarily, just resentment in general. That's how I felt.
I go through that every single month. I'm dealing with it now. And the easiest target is to look at your wife, but, and I know that that's not the right, because this is not her fault.
But it's kind of natural, honestly.
Yeah.
There's, at some level, it's subconscious.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe even biological, where like, this is not being met. I am not happy. Yeah. And the way it manifests itself in our situation is I tend to withdraw, and I tend to stop doing the things that I normally do, such as walking over and giving her a big hug, pinching her backside, giving her a kiss, saying I love you, stuff like that I have no trouble doing when we aren't in the abstaining part of it. But I don't know, just it takes a lot of effort, and sometimes the ability isn't there to do that, because there is that resentment that builds inside you that I don't think, from what I could tell, ever really goes away. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I don't think so. It's there. Unless you're actively intimate, it's there.
And
I think.
And and this is my biggest.
I think if it's justified, like if it is postpartum, it's different. But if it's just part of life, or like it just feels unnatural.
Yeah, I like to think I do a lot of hard things, and I do a lot of hard things that most men don't do or won't do. Between the two of us, we show up at the gym in the morning, and but this is just a whole different level of difficult, and I don't like how it makes me feel and how it changes my attitude towards my wife. It impacts my attitude and patience with my kids. That's probably the biggest one, quite honestly. My wife can kind of tell why I'm grumpy. The kids don't know that.
Yeah.
and why should they? And I mean, and I try, but I'm still trying, and I will always be trying because I'm
stubborn.
Again, this is unnatural. This is
it is unnatural.
It is unnatural to do that. Let's just be clear.
And so that was the turning point, I think, in our relationship too, is when I think in the past when we tried to schedule things or like talk about frequency, she thought it was all about pleasure for me. But when I said that it really changes our relationship for me mentally when this isn't happening, I think that's when things changed and like it clicked. I think that it was more of a need than just like a pleasurable desire. So,
and I think for my wife, one of the things that changed too was she understood that I'm a better guy. I'm a better version of me. I'm a better dad to the kids when we are not in those abstinence periods, whether they're self-inflicted or not. Now we're not planning to have more kids, at least right now. And so we don't have any control over it right now, following Marquette, which has been the only method we found so far that's reliable, pretty stingy. It carves out, 12 to 16 days every month, not including the beginning of the cycle, which is not really available.
So then you're down to you got 7 or 8 days a month.
Yeah, we get, for us, practically speaking, we got a window of 1 or 2 days at the beginning after the cycle kind of cleans up a little bit. And then we end up with 8 to 10 days at the end, right?
Yeah.
And which I guess is better than nothing. I mean, I don't mean to be ungrateful about it. It could be, yes, it could be worse. I get that, but it creates this very unnatural situation more than half the time that, for me, like I said, the biggest frustration isn't that I'm missing the enjoyment of that itself, which I do miss it, but it is the difference in how I am, just how much better I am as a person. My productivity, my attitude, my generosity, all that kind of joy is just not the same.
And for whatever reason, you can't just give it to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's part of God's design. Otherwise, people wouldn't get married. But
yeah.
Yeah. So it's complicated, and so the ladies in the other podcast, they would say, well, you aren't dead. You haven't died because of lack of intimacy. But then is that the standard that your spouse hasn't died, so it's okay, for any other aspect of marriage?
Well, that I think is a major issue. You sent me a video a couple days ago that not from a Catholic perspective, but that's exactly
a psychologist. Yeah,
that's exactly what she said. Is it's not. We shouldn't be judging something by whether our spouse can technically survive it. Right?
True. How are you going to thrive under those conditions?
And let's be honest. I mean, if you're a spouse, if you have any kids at all, I hope everyone can realize, especially women, can realize that you don't need just a husband with a pulse and a heart. You need him functioning at a very high level, very high. And even then, a lot of times for most of us, it's not quite enough. Life is that demanding, especially if you're trying to raise them in the faith, still values and virtues, and do all those kinds of things. We need to be operating at maximum capacity, and even then we're going to fail. But we need that as much as possible. And this, for most of us, maybe all of us, actively prevents that. And not just for a brief period of time. We're not talking about a few days or even a week. We're talking about over half the time.
So half your life.
Is that really I don't know. I don't know what to think of that other than it's a bigger problem. And like you said, the polite Catholic ladies, I don't think acknowledge, and I'm assuming, I mean, I shouldn't assume, but I'm assuming it's because, quite frankly, their husbands aren't going to tell them that.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. And I think a lot of Catholics, I mean, I would be shocked for those few people, those few couples that follow all the rules, where the husband doesn't experience what I'm talking about, probably even to a much greater degree, because maybe they're younger. I mean, if there's anything beneficial that's come from age, it's been a little bit of a drop off, but not a lot, not a ton. It's still pretty terrible. So, and no, I'm not going to, Joan, I'm not going to go ahead and get my wife pregnant just so I don't have to do, although thought does cross my mind at times. If she were to,
open the door.
Yeah, I would probably not stop her. I have, I like to imagine sometimes that I have that kind of willpower, but yeah,
I
don't think I'd fold like a cheap house of cards, but
yeah,
and again, that we should like not like say that with a serious face that makes sense. Like, the other things that people can do or do, are so horrible that would be the alternative. That would be the logical alternative, is to like, let's just bring another person into the world that we've otherwise decided we're not ready for.
Mm-hmm.
How can that be? Tell me. Make that make sense to me.
It doesn't.
So anyway, yeah. So I'm singing the NFP blues
just so you can
days.
get basically 9 months of freedom. Like, that's all it buys you.
Well, thank God for us. Thankfully, with my wife's breastfeeding, we get more time than that. But it's not. But then, but again, here a lot of the. How do I say this? I have to. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to say this in a way that's going to piss a bunch of people off, but part of our challenges now is our household, our dynamics, our finances, our the house we have, this places limitations. We still have a almost 3-year-old that routinely stays up until midnight, no matter what we do. That doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And so we are still, I want to say, living with the consequences of our past actions when we were, like I said, just like giving in because we didn't think we had any other options. And or we couldn't kind of plan our children out at the degree we wanted, and maybe I could have gotten in a situation where we weren't living in a pretty cramped house and all that. I mean, there's all kinds of it. It is not like when it's go time, it's go time. You could just do what you want. Like it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Right. And so that, I think, is the bigger issue is what do you do? Because we were doing all the rules, or trying to do all the rules, and we still are. I mean, we do. But if anyone fails, it's always me.
As far as you know. Just kidding.
Yeah. I'll put all the house money, all the money I got on that bet. But so I'm the
you're the weakest link.
I'm the relief valve, right? If we don't make it, I'm not making it.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is part of that's a little deliberate on my part. I'm like, I'll take responsibility for the effects of our decisions.
Sure.
But it is really difficult, and it is, I don't know. it's hard not to spend all your time thinking about this.
Yeah, after a while, it does become consuming.
Yeah. And
so, like you say, if those rules are 100% accurate, people should not get married.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's much easier to live singly.
Yeah. I have not figured out how to live that life well.
Mm-hmm. And neither had I, and I had tried really hard.
Yeah. I have not figured out how to follow all the rules, and
they seem to go against our very biology.
Yeah. And and feel like I was thriving in any meaningful way in a spiritual, whatever.
Yeah.
So apparently I'm just waiting for menopause, but that will carry its own set of problems, I'm sure. And so that is it's frustrating, and I don't know what to tell people. This is why we talk about the rules so much, because if it ultimately comes down to, if the rules are what, let's say, the most conservative people say, with absolute, there's no sarcasm here, don't get married. Don't tell your kids to get married, because it is not,
you can't do it.
Going to go well for them.
Yeah. But then at the same time, there's people that get advice from priests where they'll say, like, I know somebody that went to confession and they confessed, similar sins with their wife, and just, where it didn't end the right way, I think. And the priest was like, oh, you're married, so that's not a sin.
Yeah.
And I mean, that could be broadcast more, I think, if that's the case.
Yeah. I mean, I will say.
And I can't say for sure that's what the sin was necessarily, but I'm 99% confident.
I mean, I'm pretty confident in talking to a lot of people that there's a lot of couples that's what they do, whether it's with the quote unquote blessing of a priest or not. Mm-hmm. That's usually the relief valve.
Mm-hmm. And it seems natural.
Yeah. And it's sort of the great unspoken reality of Catholic marriage, that, it is what it is. And if in fact the church could give its blessing to that, I think a lot of couples would, number one, do that in a heartbeat and find their marriages better as a result of it, and probably a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's really awesome being in an intimate marriage that's very passionate. That's all I'll say. I don't know. It's probably one of the most amazing experiences of life. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, and I think, and again, I'll come back to,
or is it that bad that I'm just blinded by it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I have a larger capacity to love everyone.
I mean, do you think you're a better dad to your kids now than
definitely,
you were? And so, like, to me, not to use sort of a ends justify the means thing, but I mean, I think this is serious. This is the unspoken part of all this. Is it's not just something that a cross that a husband carries or a wife carries, or that they carry together. It has impacts on people that have no say in any of this, other than they were brought into the world probably because of these rules. That need all the help they can get to be raised well in today's world. And if our goal, I hope our goal all is to have our kids carry on the faith and be better at it than we are, this could be the most significant factor that determines how that goes for them.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that's where I don't think we can just minimize the significance of this issue, that it has, like, literally generational consequences. I mean, that sounds stupid, but it really
it's
does.
True. Totally true.
So anyway, but I don't know. That's for me, that's good in theory, because I'm in the NFP blues, and will be for a while, trying to make the most of it. And maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe I'm not
I think you don't realize how much you're enjoying this.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Flogging myself, and I mean, I'm honestly and sincerely trying to find the silver lining in all this, and trying to, you know, carry the cross and see this as an opportunity of love, which there are moments of that. There are glimpses of that. I don't want to be like I'm all negative, but I will tell you, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of, mental and spiritual effort to just try to maintain that frame of mind. That again, there's only a certain supply of mental and spiritual energy to go around, and a lot of it is devoted to trying not to be a total crab ass to my family during these times. That is, again, maybe I'm not dying, maybe I'm surviving, but I don't think I'm bringing the best version of me to the table.
And and I don't know how you even say this, because I always love my wife, but this, like the deep love, you get an energy that is just almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
yeah,
I have a much larger capacity to do anything now than ever before.
Yeah, and it is. I'm as guilty as anyone. It is super, super hard to carry on that level of affection. Like you said, this resentment, which is completely unwarranted.
It is,
but this resentment builds.
That's why I think it's biological. It's not really You just don't choose it. Right. It just happens.
Right. But it is a reality. Maybe unless you reach some Christopher West level of, whatever, wisdom, but I think for 99.999% of us, it's not that way. And it just is what it is. And so that's, I'm just going to I'll keep talking about it. I'm based on how things are going. Looks like I'm going to be talking about this for a while. So, right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, I guess I've rambled on long enough about that.
No.
Any other comments on that?
I don't think so.
One thing I'll kind of wrap us up with is because it relates to this quite a bit. I put a poll out on Twitter, and I said, and there was a kind of an equal distribution between these, but I said, during the NFP abstinence periods, what do you prefer? And I think men and women might answer this differently, but you prefer lots of physical, non-sexual physical intimacy, some or little, or just none? Like, what do you prefer? And it was pretty equal distribution there.
As far as people that wanted it and didn't want it?
Yeah. And I don't know. I honestly don't know how I feel about that, because there are pros and cons to both.
I think if your wife reaches out,
yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But if you have to keep doing it, it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, I think for those, one of the hardest things for me, I think, especially because I'm a typical guy and physical touch is probably my primary love language, or at least the second most primary. And like they say, your dialect, so sexual intimacy is by far the way that love tank is filled the most. When that's gone for a period of time, like with NFP, if you cut off all physical intimacy, either I do or my wife does or both, little hugs, little physical affection, all that kind of stuff, that tank runs dry real fast.
Just burning it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there isn't really a good way to replenish that. I mean, I would say there's no way to replenish that, right? You're just waiting. You're trying to get through the period so that you can kind of replenish that tank a little bit. So I think that's for me. There was a time, especially when I was more on the scrupulous side, I was like, I don't want anything Like, I just leave me alone. Don't touch me,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want it. Just makes the experience worse. I would say I'm kind of the opposite now. I would rather at least have some physical affection,
Mm-hmm.
and then
whatever breadcrumbs you could scrounge
yeah,
up, you know.
yeah. I mean, I don't think going cold turkey and just walking through the house like roommates.
That's not good for anybody.
No. So my own philosophy is I would rather try to maintain some level of physical affection and stuff, and then do your best to manage that, and then to, I guess, trust in God's mercy when you don't, because I think that is still better for the household, better for the kids, better for your marriage than you just, having this bipolar relationship,
Mm-hmm.
which is really what it amounts to.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's tough.
Yeah. And I think, my wife's love language is not physical touch, so she has to like be very deliberate about like initiating any kind of physical touch.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think in her mind she worries, well, if am I helping my husband by showing affection, or is that just stoking the fires, and then he's, and I get that, but the longer I live, the more I'm like, I think if that's the path you're going to take, if you're going to be following the rules in the bedroom, I think you have to be like trying to be like maintaining and maybe even being more affectionate
Mm-hmm.
outside the bedroom during that time period, because otherwise that tank runs dry. And I think that's where I think the resentment really starts to set in, and the frustration, and the days just seem to roll by so slow.
Yeah.
So just my experience.
I know what you're saying, man.
So,
yeah.
Well, pick your poison, Catholic man. You can have the Song of Songs, or you can have the NFP blues. Pick the. But that
I'm not saying it's right either, but I don't know another way to live. Yeah. Where it seems like you're living vibrantly. I don't know.
Those seem to be the only choices that most of us have. And I wish, I don't know. I wish at a bare minimum the priests and clerics just understood this is sort of the actual dynamic that plays out month after month in most marriages.
Mm-hmm.
And couples are, for couples that are, let's say, not taking my approach, I think we need to disabuse people of the idea that they're just somehow being selfish slaves to their passions. Like there's a method to the madness. There's love there. There's sincerity there. There's a desire to serve each other, serve the family,
mm-hmm.
and
underlying biological principles that just are there.
Yeah, and I wish there was a way for those in charge to take that up and maybe provide some guidance, and if at all possible, give couples more leeway to do all that, because it's hard for me to see the downside to any of that if the couple is, mutually loving each other and putting each other and the kids first.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Sorry, Jonah 2.0.
Maybe tell us how it's done, Jonah.
Yeah. So anyway, well, hopefully by next time we record, I'll be on the other side of the desert, and I'll be singing a different tune for a few days. We'll see.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, I'll be humming the chorus of Song of Songs, maybe. So, all right.
All right.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Even you, Jonah 2.0, but you guys need to offset him. So we need positive comments if you can. So, talk about this stuff with your spouse, especially if you're not in the point in your marriage that these things are things that you openly talk about. Find a way, share a video, talk talk through these things. I mean, it really does come down to communication is a huge component of it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just reaching a level of understanding, even if at the end of the day nothing changes from a functional standpoint, having the conversation and being aware of what your spouse goes through, I think could help a lot of us. And so I want to encourage people to talk about it. Pray for your spouse. That's one of the best things I ever started doing, is making sure I purposely, intentionally pray for my spouse and our marriage every day. That, if there's one thing that can help combat that resentment that builds, it's like praying for them and genuinely and sincerely desiring their happiness. To me, that's probably the one thing that I've done that's helped me the most through this.
Yep.
So pray for your spouses. Pray for us. Pray for the church, and just keep doing your best. All right.
That's right. Love your spouse.
That's right. Okay. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thank you, Jonah, as always.
Yep.
And until next time, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good one.